In the modern world, we're all photographers. But how do we continue to do what we love in a world of Instagram filters? My answer, go analog. Analog photography embraces craftsmanship and knowledge. We made this movie to show the community of photographers who embrace the old, one roll of film at a time. Just like the film process, we were eager to learn about the community in general and gain an understanding into why film still exists and is preferred by many. So we began, and our first idea was to get in touch with the owner of Analogue Meet and film enthusiast, James Furtado. He arranged a date and brought along some photographers to use film. I'll let him tell the story.
Hi, I'm James Furtado and I'm shooting today a Nikon FE10 with the 50mm Nikon Pancake E-series lens. We as a community, we are getting together and helping each other out, especially people that are first time developing, first time shooting film, helping each other out with what films to buy. It's more of a community, everyone's sort of helping each other out. I kind of feel you don't get that with digital photographers.
After spending the day with James, we began looking for our next insight into the film community. We found it in Greenwich. Tucked away amongst the market stalls, we found Jason and Claude, the men behind Greenwich Cameras. A place to purchase film cameras, film itself, and hear all about the business side of film. This is Jason, the face of the stall.
Well, we've run Greenwich Cameras for about a year and a half now, starting in Greenwich, obviously. Came from Claude's long-standing lifelong passion for clockwork and cameras. Why is it important to continue with film? Because of the richness of the experience it provides. It's the gratification that people get from using film. It's so much more intense. You know, you can take a dozen pictures digitally, not look at them, 100 pictures, 1,000 pictures, and it's like smoking cigarettes. You smoke one, you don't even realise you smoke another one, and then it's pointless. It's a pointless addiction. Most addictions are, but you know, with film, you can make every single level, every single aspect of film photography work as a sort of piece of magic in itself. Three people that currently that we're hoping to expand it with other artisans and small businesses. We've got Le Rouge pinhole cameras. So Philippe Leclerc makes them. He's an artisan. He's a professional photographer. He's a fine photographer and an engineer of 20 years. And he handcrafts these beautiful pinhole cameras that give you amazing photos that are a delight to use. They look fantastic. We've got Film Washi. Film Washi is now, it's well established as an artisan manufacturer of fine, absolutely wonderful films, beautifully handcrafted paper negative and reconditioned films from other industries. He started in his flat in Paris and has built up this beautiful business. And then we've got Cosmophoto. Cosmophoto isn't an artisan. He's got his own film, his own brand. Started his brand a few years ago, but he has the coolest packaging in town.
We hadn't expected to gain such an insight into the community in one day. And now, this is Claude. I'll let him introduce himself, but let's just say that we're grateful that our project led us to these men.
And yes, I'm here on Greenwich Cameras. I'm the workshop guy. One, you actually restore, repair, look at all the camera we are on our store here on our shop on the internet. I've done that for quite a while now, a few years. It started just like a hobby. Job I like to do all very old school camera, the old mechanical one with the compost shutter. My favorite is 170 is a Trip 35. I love it. Just to strip it down completely. And I could do it just with my eyes closed now. Process in the evening and scan and share. No, process, I do it again. I said, shoot in the morning, process in the afternoon, scan and share in the evening. And in one day, you got the whole film process, again, on Instagram, for instance, with a film camera.
Following our day in Greenwich, we began to wonder what our next insight into the film community would be. So we reached out to one of my favourite camera manufacturers, and luckily they were happy to get involved. So here they are, Intrepid Camera. I was going through various things to sort of title the project, and I can't really remember where Intrepid came from, but it stuck. And the reason it stuck was because our cameras are more sort of aimed at being lightweight and sort of cameras you could take on an adventure with you. My name is Maxim Grew, and I started the Intrepid Camera Company in 2014 after a university project which was based around making affordable large format cameras, and that's what the company still does now. The initial idea of the company was to make affordable open source large format cameras, and we quickly then changed to building the cameras ourselves and selling them, and we started through a Kickstarter which was in 2014 where we were trying to raise a few £1,000s just to get some tools together to start sort of building a few of these cameras each month. Very quickly realised that people wanted to donate by 10 as well, so we started to work on that, did a second Kickstarter and then launched the 8x10. And then we started looking at sort of the whole ecosystem of shooting film and realised that a lot of people were shooting film and then scanning it and sharing it online, which is fantastic and it's a great way to share images. But the whole aspect of the print was still sort of hard to access by people, particularly people who didn't have too much money to play with on this thing. So then we moved into enlargers and things like that, and that's sort of where the company is going. It's continuing the cameras and looking at sort of closing the loop from taking a picture to making the print. But I like to use large format photography as a bit of sort of escapism, really.
it's something sort of normally best done on your own or with sort of a small group of people, and it sort of takes you out of everyday life much more than I find digital photography does. So I think for those two aspects, for me personally, that's why I find it very important. So we've been based in our current workshop for just over a year. We moved from another site which was an abandoned army barracks, and we were in the rifle range, which was good, but it had no windows and very low ceilings. So it was kind of a bit of a repressive atmosphere if you weren't really feeling it on the day. Working on the team, we've got myself, Max, Naomi, who's the head of anything digital, comms, stuff like that. James, who's the head of production. He's been working with me since we were in a little garage in Hove. Rocco, Hugo, and Sam and Joe, who are on production. They're the people who take the wood off the machine, sand it, varnish it, and then build it into cameras. And James oversees all of that. And then in the stock room, doing post and packaging and some email stuff, is Johnny.
For the last stop of our movie, our team member Ilona travelled to Czech Republic to document Analogue.cz, the first analog store in Prague, an independent store selling film cameras, Polaroids, photo books, and a huge supply of film. The owner, Radovan Pavlista, has operated the shop for 5 years and was kind enough to let us film inside.
Kolik 6-7 let, tak byl v Barceloně a v Barceloně našel podobný obchod, kde vlastně byla spousta filmů, foťáků, dalšího příslušenství, a tím, že jsme vlastně roky fotili a takovéhle věci nám chyběly, ačkoliv samozřejmě tady byly ty klasický obchody, tak jsme si řekli, pojďme to otevřít, pojďme udělat něco takového. Jasně, máme workshopy v temné komoře, dělali jsme různé fotoprocházky, ta temná komora je asi nejoblíbenější, protože prostě člověk může přijít bez žádných znalostí a prostě vyvolat si svůj první film. Tak já myslím, že ano. Je tam poměrně zřejmý ten odklon k tomu, že i dneska digitální fotografie ty fotky nemá. Mají soubory v cloudu a tím pádem prostě se analog do nějaký míry vrací. Samozřejmě, že už nikdy nebude mít to postavení, jaký měl před digitálem, to je jasný, ale ten zájem a ta komunita určitě.